Welcome to St. Louis Obispo Buddhist Church YouTube channel. It's cold and it's windy and it's rainy, so just relax and enjoy yourself. Please like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment for us so that we can improve on our editing and our picture taking, and you can help spread the Dharma. So if you would please put your palms together for meditation reading. Just because an animal is large, it doesn't mean it doesn't want kindness. However big Tigger seems to be, remember that he wants as much kindness as Rue. From the book Winnie the Pooh, author A.A. Milne. If you would please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. You know, we take for granted many things that we have in life. We have food, we have shelter, clothes, we have education, jobs, a family, and loved ones. We're physically able and we're healthy. And as long as we have those things, life is good. However, there are people in the world who are born or who develop disabilities. At first, when we encounter the people, we don't know how to act around them. We either give them a wide berth, or we treat them like anyone else. And it depends on our comfort level. I recently read an article in a bi-weekly newspaper out of San Francisco called Nichibei. And it was an article about a young child who was born without arms or legs. And yet, she was a happy child, always smiling. At the age of 7 years old, she wanted to attend a regular school, as her parents wished her to do. And that was a challenge. She was so protected at home and sheltered that attending a regular school, she didn't know how other children would react to her. So at first, her classmates avoided her because she was not normal. She struggled, but never gave up. She would ask everyone to be her friends, to be her friend. She eventually made a few friends, and the thing about this little girl, she was not shy. And she would start conversations with anyone she met. And in a way, this was an advantage. Because her talking with other people, it made them feel more comfortable because of her true heart and her bright smile. She eventually went on to high school. And one day she saw cheerleaders. She saw their smiles and their cheerfulness and energy. And she saw them cheering the team on and cheering the crowd. So they got excited. And that made her happy. And she was determined to be a cheerleader. You know, again, frustration and struggle. But there was a teacher who told her that she could still use her mouth and her voice to cheer on the team and other people. What a concept. She still had a voice. So eventually, the cheerleading squad accepted her. And this young girl now understood and knew her limitations. So she became an advisor. And she would check on all the cheerleaders to make sure that they were happy, they were cheerful, and they had a smile on their faces. And the highlight of this advisor position was at a cheerleading competition. The high school cheerleading squad brought her on stage with them, and she was able to compete with her cheerleading squad using her voice. And the crowd cheered her on. Well, she grew up. And she wanted to marry. But again, she thought her disability would be a hindrance. But she never gave up. And one day she met a man who accepted her just as she was. And they married. She faced yet another challenge. She wanted a child. Again, she thought, no way. But by practicing every day, using her mouth, she was able to dress a doll. And it took tremendous effort on her part. Yet, she accomplished another goal. And you can probably guess, this young woman, yes, had a baby. And it was not easy. But with the help of a loving husband, she was able to care and love for her family. This young woman faced many obstacles and struggles and frustrations in her life. Yet she never gave up. And she was always with a smile. She felt depression, suffering, and challenges. Yet she always smiled through her ordeals. Think about it. Could we be so resilient as this young woman? Many of us have use of legs and arms. And we take that for granted. And it is Namu Amida Butsu, our Nembutsu, that we share in thankfulness, gratitude, and appreciation for having the use of our body. And it's also gratitude for what we have. Through our struggles, frustration, depression, we still have Namu Amida Butsu, Nembutsu, to give us guidance and direction. Nembutsu gives us strength, support to overcome obstacles. It makes us stop, think, take a breath of air, so it clears the cloud over our thinking. We will still have moments of despair, which is a natural response. But we open our hearts and minds to allow Nembutsu to help clear that way of thinking. And instead of taking granted for what we have, maybe it's time that we give thanks for what we can do and what may, and that we can produce later. Think about it. Think about our strength, compassion, wisdom of the Buddha that surrounds us at all times and that will help us to see our way to solutions. If you would please join me in Gassho. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namada Butsu, Namada Butsu, Namada. And thank you for listening to our YouTube channel.